What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today we're going to start our very early Starbirth slash Brilliant Stars Pokemon TCG standard format deck profiling with some deck lists shared by the Japanese Pokemon card website, built by players and announcers, and I believe possibly some of the employee staff from the Pokemon Japan. So there are four deck lists we'll look at here today, and I also will reference some of the cards from Pokebeach if I don't know exactly what they do, but you can also check out my recent Every Card Revealed from Starbirth video. If you haven't already seen any of the cards, I go over my first impressions of a lot of them in that video. And I will be building my own decks. I've already started building my own decks. I have a bunch of proxy decks, and we'll get to featuring them on the channel as we go. I don't want to do too much too soon because it's still over a month until Brilliant Stars comes out in North America. So I don't want to get it all out of the way early. I want there to be some excitement left when the set actually comes out. But it comes out in Japan today. I'm recording this video on Friday, and so we will be seeing, I'm sure, a lot of decks from Ho Ho News, and we'll be looking at those on stream and in videos and stuff like that. But without further ado, be sure to subscribe to this channel and check out my sponsors, PotownStore.com, PokemonCard.io, BeastCoast.gg, and CardTrooperGames.com. Links, information, and coupon codes are in the description down below. So yeah, like I said, we'll be looking at some deck lists from Pokemon Japan's website here. This one is from Ryota Ishiyama, and I will try to pronounce the deck creators' names as well as I can. This one is going to be focusing on Raichu V and also Arceus V Star. A lot of them will be featuring Arceus V Star because Arceus is just a great card. So they talk about this is Google translated, by the way, so this won't be exact. This won't be like 100% readable. It's just Google automatically translates it for me. So they're talking about Raichu V, Zekrom, Double Turbo Energy, and Choice Belt. Um, so here's the deck recipe. This is the deck list they've created for Raichu V, featuring Arceus V Star as some support. Also, it can search you out cards that you need with its V-Star ability that searches your deck for any two cards, but it can also use its first attack to do 200 minus 20 if you're using Turbo Energy, and search your deck for 3 basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon V however you like. Now, this is going to be good paired with Raichu V because Raichu, the second attack reads, you can discard as many lightning cards as you like from your entire board, so from any of your Pokemon, and it does 60 damage for each lightning energy you discarded in this way. It's very similar to Blacephalon GX, people have noted. So if you have 5 lightning energy on the board and you discard all 5, this does 300 damage. If you have a choice belt, that does 330, so that's a really great number to hit. So Raichu V is the main attacker of this deck. You also have the Zekrom in here that damages itself for 60 damage, but it auto-paralyzes the opponent's active, which is really, really strong in my opinion. And the double turbo energy, there's only 2 because it's really just to use with Arceus V Star. This also features the new Lumineon V that allows you to search for a supporter when you play it down. Ultra Ball, of course, is coming out in this set, and like I mentioned, 2 choice belts to help buff up the damage of Raichu V. So Raichu V can easily knock out Vs and V stars, and with a little bit of a reach can also knock out V maxes. You're using Flappy to accelerate all of that, and this deck notably is missing Manaphy. Like, where's the Manaphy here? I guess they're assuming you already lose to Rapid Strike because your entire deck is weak to fighting, but like against Jolteon as well, like you need some Manaphy going on here. What's up with that? So pop a Manaphy into this deck, and maybe this can be something we try out when the set comes out here. Next, we have Shintaro Ito. Needs no introduction, an amazing accomplished player throughout Japan and also Worlds internationally. Shintaro is a really, really great player, and he's focusing on Whimsicott V here, paired with Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. So Whimsicott V is one of the cards I've been interested in, and I've been building deck lists. If you're a patron of mine over patreon.com/Celios Network, you've already started to see some of my early drafts that I'm thinking about for Brilliant Stars decks. But so Whimsicott V Star is really cool. It reminds me of building around like Seismitoad EX and Giratina EX and things of that nature. 250 HP, and its first attack for Psychic Colorless, which of course you can use double turbo energy for. It does 160, and then your opponent cannot play special energies or Pokemon tools next turn. And then the V Star power is an attack, psychic energy to use it, and it does 60 to one of your opponent's Pokemon for every psychic energy, or for every energy, for every energy on this Pokemon. So you can actually do some pretty hefty snipes with that V-Star power. I'm just going to turn up my mic a little bit. My apologies if it was a little low for the start of the video, but hopefully that should fix it now. Okay, so yeah, Whimsicott V-Star. It locks out special energies, and notably it's weak to metal, whereas Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX is weak to dark. So as a pairing here, you're going to have two different weaknesses. And against the dark deck, you can try to focus a little more heavily on Whimsicott V-Star. And against decks that rely almost entirely on special energies like Single Strike, Rapid Strike, Mew VMAX, you can also lean into the Whimsicott V-Star to use that attack that locks special energies from being attached from the hand. Now, this deck doesn't play double turbo energies because of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX accelerating energy, so you won't need to worry about that damage reduction being on Whimsicott. Next, from Saito Kosi. This is I'm not sure I've seen decks from this player or staff member of Pokemon Japan before, but they have chosen to go with building a Charizard deck, and again, featuring Arceus. So they also use Charizard VMAX, which is quite interesting. I haven't put Charizard VMAX in my drafts as of yet, but with double turbo energy, you can reach that attack a little easier. So, a 4-3 line of Arceus V Star, and then 4 Charizard V, 2 Charizard V Star, and 1 Charizard V Max. And also with the Arceus V Star attack, you can also reach that that energy cost of Charizard V Max as well. So let's go ahead and read Charizard V Star here. Charizard V Star is one of the cards that were revealed early on, so there's actually an English scan on this page. So for 280 it has 280 HP, fire type, explosive fires doing 260. I'm sorry, I always say 260 when I'm reading this attack out. 230 if it already has any damage on it. And they are playing the new Fire Stadium, which upon activating it to accelerate an energy, it does damage the fire Pokemon on the bench that it attached energy to. We have it right here, Magma Basin. So that will activate the Charizard being damaged by that Stadium card, and it also accelerates the energy to it. And then Star Blaze for 4 energy, it does 320, and you discard 2 energy from the Pokemon. So I think Charizard V-Star can be a very aggressive card, potentially. Not sure if this is the way to build it, mixed with Arceus V-Star, but I do think it has potential to be a pretty aggressive card, and it's quite high in HP at 280 HP for being a 2-prize Pokemon, so I'm really happy to see that as well. Some of the supporter cards you'll see there, Professor Rowan is just a professor's research with Rowan on it, and then Cyrus is just a boss's orders with Cyrus on it. Lumineon V again, the Arceus line, etc. So the Ultra Ball, which is reprinted, which we saw in the other ones. And here for the last one, we will see a straight Arceus V-Star deck by Yamaguchi Yoshiyuki, I believe. And So let's read the strategy of this one, because this one's a little odd to me. It's just a straight Arceus deck. And like I said, this is Google translated, so who knows if this is going to make sense. From the second turn, we aim to defeat the Pokemon V with Trinity Nova. That's the first attack. Since there are many developments that will be effective, you can aim at the Pokemon prepared by the opponent with Boss, which you have 4 copies of. In addition, we have Path to the Peak and Echoing Horn to stop the opponent and unexpectedly knock out other Pokemon. And we have access to all of these tools because of the Inteleon line and also Arceus V Star's power. So basically, the plan here is to just create an insanely consistent deck that has access to any card you need at any time. But I feel like it needs more options. So here's the deck list they've created. A problem I have with it is that Arceus has nothing to accelerate energy to aside from another Arceus. Now, maybe that's going to be all you need. Maybe Arceus is so good that all you need is Arceus. Again, I think every single person here left Manaphy out of their decks. Now, it makes sense in Shadow Rider. It definitely does not make sense here. And it definitely does not make sense here to leave Manaphy out of the deck. So that's odd to me. But I like where this is going. It's kind of like playing, like, imagine a straight Zoroark deck back in the day, where you're just attacking with Arceus V Star because it's efficient and it 2-shots everything. And then you have access to literally anything you need, because Arceus searches out any cards and the Inteleon line searches out any trainers. So you can get anything you need pretty much. And once you use your Arceus V-Star power, you don't care about Path to the Peak being in play, so you can just shut off your opponent's abilities with that as well. It has the new Sharon's Care that picks up one of your colorless Pokemon and all cards attached to it, so it's basically Acerola for colorless Pokemon. You could just heal that colorless Pokemon by picking it up, send out the next Arceus V-Star. It also plays Melanie. So I do think this is interesting. It's just a little odd because Arceus V-Star lends itself so much to a toolbox style approach, but this allows you to have access to a bunch of different options in the deck, but I think it needs a little more options. I think it could use maybe Fan of Waves, maybe one other attacker like a Suicune or something. Since you're already running water energy, I don't see a reason not to run Suicune. Maybe Big Charm to give you a little extra HP in any matchup that comes into play. So yeah, I think there's more you can do to this deck. I think this is just scratching the surface, but it is quite interesting. So that's going to be everything we have to talk about today, but that's a look at 4 potential new decks out of Brilliant Stars, and I will put the link to this in the description below or in a pinned comment. But thank you so much for watching today, and let me know which of these 4 decks you're most excited to try out, or which one has inspired you to try out a similar deck. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon TCG content. Check out my sponsors, links in the description down below, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.